Hey, welcome everybody. We are back at 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Time for Sci-Fi Distilled. How you doing, Mary Beth?
I'm awesome. How are you doing, Rizzo?
I'm okay. A little tired. A
A
little
little
tired. It's
tired.
been a
It's been one
busy
of those
week
weeks.
already. It's been one of those
It's only
weeks.
Wednesday.
So
2 more
yeah,
days and then it's
it's
the
only
weekend.
Wednesday. I have like no free time, like no weekends free until like the beginning of June.
Oh
And then of
no.
course then June
And
starts.
then and then June starts and
I
then
get
we're
like
down.
one weekend in June because it's just gonna be crazy. So anyway.
Oof. Oof.
So yeah, this week we decided to, because we hadn't done it yet, is the Babylon 5 animated movie.
Babylon
The way
has
how
more
no,
movies
what is
than
it
I
called?
thought.
What's that?
Like Babylon has more movies than I realized, I
Yes,
guess.
because yeah, we can talk about that. So this is the Call of the Road Home. Of course, this was just recently, is only a couple years old. 2023, I think it's
23, yeah, like 3
yeah,
years
so
old.
it's old, it's older than I guess I thought. And honestly enough, somehow I missed it. Like I remember it was coming out. They didn't promote it really that well, I don't think.
I'm not in a lot of Babylon circles, so I guess
Yeah,
maybe I could
maybe more in Balancer. But anyway, so we're gonna talk about that. But before we go to that,
yeah.
I think we got
We
some
got news.
news.
We got a little bit of news, and as always, Rizzo, I would like to hear your opinions on
I
things.
have opinions.
Gen V has been canceled after 2 years, leaving like certain characters just like cliffhanger, whatever. While not explicitly detailed, the decision stems from executive producers Kripke and Evan Goldberg. Because they have plans to fold storylines into the main series, which I guess now is Vought Rising, because it's not The Boys anymore. The Boys is getting ready to end.
Is this the last season of The Boys? The current one?
Yes,
It is.
yes, we're wrapping it up.
So yeah, so I guess yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind Gen V. I thought it was okay. It
That was
wasn't
fine.
nearly as good as The Boys.
No, it wasn't, but it had some of that shock factor. It had it.
Yeah, it definitely had a lot of I think they were leaning more heavy on the gory parts of stuff.
Yeah,
You
they
know what I'm
were.
saying? There's that kind of shock value than because like The Boys definitely has that. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
But every once in a while they'll throw something really
Well,
weird at you, like the flying killer sheep. You know?
yeah, the sheep. Yeah. But the boys, I just watched today's episode, and what the boys does so brilliantly is it holds a mirror up to society and it skewers current events like
Oh,
left, right, and center.
absolutely,
Like Gen V never did
absolutely.
that.
No, that's
So,
true.
oh,
No,
and
not yeah. You're right. I mean, it's all
yeah,
clearly about you know,
current
at
events.
least it was yeah. It was just all about this corruption and whole
Side
control.
note for Jensen Ackles and Supernatural fans, today's episode of The Boys was the episode that features Jared Padalecki and Misha. Uh, uh, what the hell's
You
Misha's
froze
last
again.
name? Misha Collins.
I don't know. Just want to
All
give some
right,
hey
moving on.
Bill and Jeff and Doc. Thanks for
Oh,
joining
hey,
us. And hey, I'm Brian from Tampa. It's an old coworker. And Bill, thanks for joining us. And Barrett. Uh, anyway, just want to give the shout outs while I
yeah,
was looking at them.
absolutely. Moving on, Star City featuring starring Reese Ifans, who I usually love, launches in 1 month. 1 month from today, May 29 on Apple. This is the highly anticipated spinoff that will show the Soviet side of this fictionalized space race. But here's the thing, Rizwan, I'd like your opinion on this. And when I was watching For All Mankind, I kind of realized, oh, you kind of need to at least be familiar with history in general in order to appreciate where mankind, For All Mankind, paralleled it and where they deviated from it. So, do you think we're going to need to be up to speed on like Russian Soviet history to
Depends on
enjoy?
how they if they really gonna because clearly I think Russian history ends in 1992 or whatever. When did the Soviet Union finally fall?
Whenever,
Somewhere
yeah,
in there.
somewhere around
So
there.
I mean, we're only going to have it, and then it obviously doesn't fall in
Yeah,
this timeline, so it
because we
continues
see
on.
we see what they do right up till now, and now on Mars, it's like the M6 or something. They have
Yeah.
different
Well, there's like this group. Yeah, it's like an international type thing. I have noticed that this season doesn't seem to have the I don't know what the right word is. It's just not as interesting, or I don't feel as riveted to this as to. It's
It's just
still
so far
good.
away, and it's everything that's happening on Mars. They have to anchor it back to stuff on Earth, which is what
Well, I
makes it.
think that, and I think it's kind of becoming a little bit okay. Now we're having more problem. Like last season was the problems on Mars. Now we're having problems on Mars again. It's kind of like a rehash. almost
Yeah.
of last season.
Well, I'm wondering what's her name. The daughter now has gone on Titan to off to, I don't know, Jupiter's moons or whatever. So now I'm kind of wondering if that's because they did get a season 6. So now I'm wondering, like, oh, are we going to Jupiter now or wherever she's going?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know where they're going to take it because they're almost at a point. I think that's why they need to wrap. Kind of, it is good that I don't want to see them keep doing it ad nauseum because at some point you have to kind of wrap it up. Like to keep it interesting. So I think that's why they decided to do the Star City show because you can kind of almost reset everything,
kind of reset
and maybe still see. But we're gonna have to see the same type of storylines from the Russian side. So all that turmoil on the moon.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, where is it? How's it going to tell? Is it going to be parallel or is it? One thing, this is great. This is strictly personal to me, guys, and you guys kind of laugh at me. I don't care. But if they talk about or show Laika, that dog, I will lose my shit. That bothers me very, very deeply, and I don't like to have to think about it. I don't know why it just bothers me. Whatever. Okay, moving on.
It's not just dogs they lost.
Oh, I know, but I have dogs. I just all right, moving
on.
Vanessa
maybe then Doc's been in Russia, so after that we can do that show after its season and have Doc back and
we'll have Doc back. Okay, so Russia,
like in all the Russian.
They don't love their dogs there. Okay, Vanessa Kirby and Louis Pullman are in a new sci-fi thriller, The Space Suit, and it's about to debut at Cannes. The tag is an astronaut, which is Kirby, is forced to make an impossible decision after her co-pilot, I'm guessing that's Pullman, compromises the mission. You guys all know Pullman. Pullman is Louis Pullman is Bill Pullman's kid. He played Bob in Top Gun Maverick, and then he played Bob in the Thunderbolts. You know Pullman. Laura Dern. Oh, the White Lotus. This isn't really sci-fi. I don't know why I always talk about it, but White Lotus is one of the shows that I like to watch. And they had Helena Bonham Carter for season 4, and she dropped out. So they've thrown Laura Dern in. I don't know why. Season 4 will also star Steve Coogan, Sandra Bernhard, Heather Graham. I haven't seen Heather Graham in a long time. Kumail Nanjiani and Rosie Perez. Filming locations.
Rosie Perez. There's another one you haven't heard of in a long time. Oh my god.
In a long time. Filming locations include Cannes, Saint-Tropez, and Monaco. And this, for some reason, those of you who watch White Lotus know it usually focuses on one White Lotus hotel. This season, we're going to have 2 White Lotus hotels, like in 2 different locations. So, whatever.
I've been to Monaco.
It's just a murder mystery show. Whatever. Moving on. Netflix. Netflix has renewed the Duffer Brothers animated spin-off Stranger Things Tales from 85 for a second season. The 10-episode first season just dropped. I don't think all the episodes are out yet. However, it officially landed in Netflix's top 15 animated series debuts of all time. Okay, sure, that's great. The Tales from 85 took... Now here, Rizzo, because this is going to tie into the next story, and I want to talk to you about the next story.
Okay.
Tales from 85 took the number 7 spot on the streamers, on Netflix's global top 10 list. So worldwide, people watching Netflix worldwide and just Netflix. This Stranger Things Tales from 85 thing took the number 7 spot. Okay, that's cool. That's good. And so they decided to renew it. So moving on to the next story. Keep that number 7 in your head. Something strange is afoot over at Disney Plus. And Rizzo, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Over on Disney Plus, Star Wars Maul the Shadow Lord has debuted and currently holds the number 1 spot globally, just like the Netflix thing. So if everybody watching Disney Plus globally, Maul is the number 1 thing. Great, swell. You're wondering what's wrong with that? Nothing. However, for unexplained reasons, they're calling it the Maul effect. They don't know why. The Acolyte has quietly slid into 9th place worldwide after being down in the hundreds somewhere. And they're calling it the Maul effect. This is happening 2 years after the show is canceled. Suddenly it's in the top 10 worldwide. And it is performing very well against other new releases. Rizzo, what's happening? What is going on?
I have no idea. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's manipulating something just to make people, I wouldn't be surprised. It could be legitimate that it just there was an interest in Star Wars. They do, once you start watching like some things, like say Star Wars or any variation of Star Wars, they will start feeding you stuff like, oh, you might want to watch this Star Wars or that Star Wars or this Star Wars.
That's true. That's
So
true.
that
They do feed it to
potentially
you.
what's happening. The more nefarious thing could be that they're just feeding people and telling people that it's up in the 9, and maybe people, well, maybe I'll give it another try, or maybe I'll
There's
watch it.
concrete number. It's like Nielsen ratings. They have concrete numbers to back this crap up. But I'm just saying, if Stranger Things over
I could
Netflix
give you
hit
some
7
concrete
and they were
numbers. I
like,
could
let's
just make them
renew it.
up.
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose.
I
But
mean, you're
if
just assuming that they're telling you the truth with those numbers.
yeah, fair point. Since I don't have access to those numbers
Yeah,
myself,
nobody does except
although
Disney.
kind of, it seems like they should be published somewhere. But anyway, if Netflix is going to renew Stranger Things animated thing after hitting number 7, why do I got the sneaky feeling Disney's going to be like, it's number 9? I don't know.
I don't see them. No, I don't see them. First of all, let's look at the two that you're talking about. Two very different shows.
Yeah.
Animated shows are very much less expensive. That's not really a great way to say that, but they're much cheaper to make than live action. And The Acolyte was one of the most ridiculously expensive per episode shows Disney ever produced. And that's, people don't really go, oh, it was the bad review bombing. I'm like, no, nobody watched it regardless. And it cost them more money. They lost their shirts on The Acolyte. And I think that's putting it mildly. And that's why they canceled it. And that's why any of these ones canceling it. So an animated series saying, okay, it's dropping at number 7. We're still getting people to watch it. It's financially sound to continue on with it and give them another season. And it's not that big a gamble because of cost per episode versus a live action cost per episode.
That's true.
So, I mean, that's why it always kind of floored me that Paramount canceled Lower Decks. It's like, that was your cheapest show to make, and it was probably your most popular, you dumbasses. I don't understand. You know, why? Because it didn't have an agenda, maybe? I don't
Dr. Alexander is confirming that The Acolyte is linked at the end of Disney episodes. So it probably starts automatically. If you don't touch the buttons, it probably starts.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That may automatically. I don't know if that's going to drive it from 100 to 9.
Not 100. I don't know. It was in the dismals. It was in dismal numbers. But it's currently they're reporting it's at in Hollywood. No, Hollywood. Where did I get this? I got this off the dailies. They're reporting it. It's number 9. I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on this to see if it stays at number 9 or just slinks back down again. I mean,
yeah,
it's just weird.
Yeah, it does. It's odd. I don't know how ratings are done as far as streaming service. Obviously, it's how many times they. The one thing with streaming, any of the shows is I think they are getting a more accurate picture of who's watching and how, rather than the old Nielsen ratings where people were on broadcast. Because they can tell, because people, with Nielsen, there was always the thing of who leaves the TV on all day and it's just running. There are people that do that. They just never turn the TV off. They just leave it in the background running all the time. It's not, you're not getting really accurate numbers, and you were also relying on people to fill out those little, I did it one time. It's a real pain in the butt to fill out the journals constantly, what you're watching,
really?
What you're watching.
See, I thought they sent you a special box. I thought
there are some that do it that way. The one when I had to do it, they basically gave you a journal and you're supposed to fill it out and then mail it back in.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Whenever you're watching something, I watched ABC News on this date, 7 to 7th or whatever it is.
Was that when was that? The 80s, 90s?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was at least 90s. It might have been early 2000s. I don't remember. Every time since, if they ask me, I just don't want to be part of it because it's pain. There was a time when there was where they would put the boxes in and the box would record what you'd watch. But again, the box couldn't tell if somebody was physically in the room watching the show.
In the room,
It could tell you the show was on. And then at one time, they actually tried putting a camera in the box to see if anybody was actually watching. But then they caught a bunch of people doing things that they really didn't want to see them doing. So they stopped doing that.
One would think, hey, there's a camera anymore.
This is years ago.
They do keep pretty close tabs. The streaming does allow them, the way television is nowadays, it does allow them to keep pretty close tabs on what people are watching and when and where and why.
Bill says Paramount will soon announce Section 31 viewership. Yeah, you never know, Bill. You just never know.
Please God, no. Yeah, Paramount is getting ready to wrap up not wrap up, but they're going to, beg the FCC for permission to do that big merger. which means and over 50% or close to 50% of that is being financed by foreign countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar.
Yeah,
and
I just and at some point, I don't know how well, I guess under the current administration they don't really care about antitrust laws.
No.
But it's going to be a scary situation. There's going to be like 2 mega companies that are going to run all our media. And hopefully, I wouldn't trust any of them. Better hope YouTube keeps these independent people. We're never going to get any accurate news. So, but
guys,
anyway.
a few news out of other sources, other countries' sources.
So I guess Paramount, I guess the rumor is they're still going to do the 3. They're going to do 3. They're going to reboot Star Trek again. Apparently not canon. They're gonna wipe out, like it's gonna be another timeline. It's not gonna be JJ Trek. It's not gonna be the original Prime line. It's not gonna be Discovery. It's gonna be their own thing again. So, welcome to the multiverse.
Guys, I'll keep you updated on that, as I've been hearing rumors and stuff. But I'll keep you updated as I get something a little bit more concrete. But as Darren Doctorman pointed out, they like every studio and every house and every network. They want to say, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that, because it helps keep their stock up. I mean, it keeps their stock rises, and it keeps investments in there, which is they desperately need money. So of course they're going to tell you they're going to do all these great things. Whether or not they actually comes to pass, whether or not they actually do them,
don't know. So. Any other news?
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole. I didn't have much for news tonight. It's been a quiet week in Hollywood.
That's all right. It's plenty of news. All the news, all the time.
All the news, all the time. Rizzo, what are we drinking tonight?
We are drinking a Babylon Express.
A Babylon Express.
Cucumber vodka, which I've never tried.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how that tastes. It's probably not a huge, strong flavor, I would imagine. Elderflower liqueur. Fresh pineapple juice and lime juice.
So 2 ingredients that I'm not familiar with, having never had cucumber vodka or elderflower.
Elderflower liqueur actually has a brand name that you might recognize, and I cannot think of it at the top of my head. So you may be more aware of it than you think. I did not know cucumber vodka existed.
Oh, Saint Germain.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
So, but they make a flavor. I mean, I think they have like beef jerky flavored vodka. I mean, I'm joking, but they do have bacon.
I remember for a while they had like cool, like whipped cream flavored.
They have whipped cream flavored. Yep. I think actually my wife has bought that. Yeah, they pretty much any flavoring, because vodka doesn't have a strong taste on its own.
Vodka's pretty.
So you can add anything to it.
Yeah, but you can add any juice to it. I mean,
well, I'm just saying you can make it's easy to flavor it, I guess. So, anyway.
All right. So we're coming on 3 years. 3 years, 4 years, 6 years. How long have we been doing this? 6 years.
2020.
So and you have come up with a drink for 6 years. I have to say,
a lot of drinks.
That's a lot of drinks.
I don't think I've doubled up any. I don't think so. I try not to.
You never doubled. I can't think of anyone we ever doubled up.
No. So there's a lot of disclosure. There's a lot of mixology out there.
I think, why do you not come when we're at the pub when we're in Thai and at the pub? Why are you not making drinks for us?
Well, because I don't memorize all these.
I don't memorize them either. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure we had a drink for that, but I have my favorite.
I've kind of settled into old man. I just like I like my old fashions, and that's it. I'm kind of like.
I just like the one drink.
I'll tell you
how to make the other drinks, but I'm only gonna drink the one.
I used to drink like for decades. All I drank was Captain and Coke. Like that's like it. It took me a long time to mature out of that into other like things. So
I'm a total girl. I like the sweet.
But when I'm like at a beach or like tropical, like I do like my tropical drinks. I like my boat drinks.
Pina colada or whatever.
Not a pina colada. I'm not much on the pina colada guy, but I do like a nice Mai Tai.
Mai Tai's a good,
or something, or a rum runner, or hurricane.
Jeff says, "Welcome to old."
Yes, so so I have this thing when it comes to old fashioned. So I can go to a restaurant and pretty much decide whether they're going to have a decent old fashioned. Usually, you can tell. So, and that's how I gauge a lot of restaurants. I'll get their old fashioned. Usually, oh, we have our own whatever. Give me your specialty. And if it's good, the restaurant's usually good. Sometimes I went into one and the woman had to pull out what we used to call in the bartending business the Bible. You know, when somebody asked for something really
She didn't know
weird,
how to make it old
she
fashioned.
didn't know how to make it old fashioned, and it came out
Isn't
looking
it
orange
basically
and
just whiskey
completely the
and
wrong color.
sugar?
It's basically usually simple syrup, which is sugar syrup. Yeah, bitters.
Okay,
That's
and
it.
like a
Like a lime wedge
cherry.
or a cherry. It's pretty much it. Yeah, there's not a lot in it.
Old fashioned is literally one of the
It's an
oldest
old. It's
drinks.
it's literally probably one of the oldest cocktails there is. But
Like a screwdriver or a
that I'm sure they could have
Long
figured out.
Island iced tea or whatever. I mean, there's some old drinks out there that we've been drinking for.
Yeah, all iced teas are tricky to make. You gotta have a good bartender to make them correctly, otherwise they don't
That's true.
taste
That's
right.
true.
So,
Guys, post your favorite drinks
what's your drinking? What's your
if
favorite?
if you're drinking, and if it's just regular plain old iced tea, that's good too.
I kicked it up a
do
notch.
the
I like
Crystal Light
to smoke my old fashions now. I have a little smoking kit, so you get like a
Ah.
smoky, yeah, kind
You
of
are getting fancy.
fancy. So, all right. Anyway,
Yeah.
Babylon 5. The road
Road
home is what this is called, and they got most of the cast back together. They got Bruce Boxleitner, and they got Claudia Christian back. They got
Billy.
excuse me. They got who else got in? Pretty much. Well, not all of them. They got Patricia Tallman.
Well, some had passed, so
yes, obviously Michael Doyle. Right? Is it Michael? I could forget his Doyle.
yeah, I'm trying to think. The gal that played Delenn, like a handful of actors.
Yeah. Vera
had
Furlan
passed.
died. Jakar died. Andreas. I can't think of his last name.
Yeah.
So
Jakar
yeah,
had
obviously
died.
some of them they couldn't get. They did get Bill Mummy back.
They did get
Peter
Billy
Jurassic
Mummy. They
came
got
back.
Peter
Tracy
Jurassic.
Scoggins came back. That's pretty much it. They the guy that played the doctor they didn't get back.
Yeah, they had Philomar, but I love Philomar, so that's cool.
Yeah. So, and I agree with you. I noticed your little lower third there, and I agree with that. Was one of the funniest things that you put that up, because I was watching the movie and I'm like, Claudia should have got way more screen time.
Agreed.
Than she did. I mean, they gave Tracy Scoggins way more screen time than she did, and I thought
they did.
I think that was just a crime. I think that was another kick to her, and I the whole thing. I mean, nothing against Tracy Scoggins. I didn't really care for her in that role. I have nothing against her as an actor. I just didn't like that character very much. Of whatever the hell her name was. What was I don't even remember. She's the new captain.
Yeah, I can't think of
What's
her name.
Elizabeth,
right?
Elizabeth Lockley. So Captain Lockley. Anyway, yeah. So, but it was a good. The thing with this is it was entertaining, but it didn't. I didn't feel like recaptured the magic of that show. It's just something.
Agree.
I don't know if it was the animation looked like Jakar didn't look like Jakar to me.
Londo didn't look like Londo.
Londo didn't look like Londo.
Here's the animation was beautiful. It was beautiful, and they did do a great shot of the moon crashing into the earth. That was great. But it was highly stylized, and everyone's face, particularly in the eyes, were kind of all drawn the same. And after there was a couple of moments when I wasn't sure, I was like, "Wait, who is that?" And it took me a couple seconds to
that's true. Because like Ivanova and Captain Lockley looked real similar.
Yes, they did.
They looked really similar to the point
had
where
her hair back and Lockley had her hair down.
Yeah, and
but then like Lita, and can I just give props to Pat? And we've had Pat on the show. She did awesome. Like I thought her character was awesome. I thought her line reads were awesome. I thought she was well written. I was like, she was made to do animation. Does she do voice work? She was fabulous. I
don't know if she does a lot of voice. You'd have to look at her IMDb, but I know right now she's doing her whole magical living.
Yeah, I get her.
I'm not really sure. I get a lot of emails about.
Yeah.
I was hoping. So some of you may know they had the Vermont Sci-Fi Expo was this past weekend in Essex Junction, Vermont, and as luck would have it, which is partly the reason we're doing this, Bruce Boxleiter and Claudia Christian were there. Patricia Tallman was supposed to be there, but she bailed out. Yeah, I could show you the picture. So got to meet them both. I had met Claudia before. She's just a sweetheart. If I can find the picture if y'all are interested. Give me a second. But yeah, so but Bruce, you know, they're a little older. He's got to be what? He's got to be well into his 70s, I think, right?
Yeah, he's getting there. But I thought everybody sounded good. Claudia maybe.
He sounded like in this movie, he sounded like his voice sounded exactly like it did in the 90s.
Yeah,
like, I didn't notice. Yeah, I didn't notice.
So the two standouts for me that were so, but I completely agree with you, Rizzo. The storyline was just, we've done this storyline before, the bouncing through time to learn that all you need is love lesson. Like you've kind of seen this done lots of times before. So I didn't feel like it was too original that way. But the two stands out for me were Lita, Pat Tallman as Lita, and whoever they had playing Zathras. Zathras was the same old, there they are. That was just this past weekend.
Yeah. Sporting the Galileo t-shirt, by the way.
Yes, you are. Good for you. I'm sure they didn't know what
she looks great. I wanted to tell her, do you have a painting in your attic? I mean, I know she probably colors her hair. I mean, never, but I mean, she just looks fabulous, and he looks really good too. I mean, I'm not
they both look good.
Yeah, they both looked really good. They gave, so just shifting off, since we'll talk about this for a second. They gave a talk, and it was really good talk. You know, Bruce did talk a little bit about you guys. He was in his other big claim to fame besides the Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Tales of the Gold Monkey.
No, that was not him.
Oh, that wasn't.
No, that was the guy from Star Trek, the motion picture there, Captain Decker.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Okay. So what was Bruce's other claim to fame?
No, Tron.
Oh, Tron! Oh, God,
the original Tron, which is funny because apparently he told a story where I guess he was supposed to have coffee with George Lucas about Star Wars, doing the Star Wars movie this again. And something, I missed the part, but apparently somehow it didn't happen. They never had this coffee, so he never got into Star Wars. So he was like, I don't like Star Wars anyway. He was just kind of being funny. So, but then his agent called him about the Tron thing. So then he ended up doing Tron. But I guess Star Trek, same thing. I guess there was interest, but nobody ever followed up with him doing Star Trek. But you know, the stories, of course, we've talked about on this show, them shooting the original Babylon 5 in the hot tub, old hot tub factory, you know, and they, you know, and stuff like that. And
yeah,
that's where they shot the show. Like nobody knew like where it wasn't in a studio, it was in the valley. You know, San Fernando Valley. It was like 100 degrees outside, you know, and they were telling some great stories about Andreas. I can't pronounce his last name.
Like, yeah, I know who you
cars. And I guess they said he just loved that character. He always was in that character, but he had a smoking problem. Yeah, not a problem, but he smoked, and which is what led to his demise. But like, yeah, they're like, yeah, he would go out, and every time they take a break, he'd be out there smoking 100-degree heat in the Jakar outfit and the whole full makeup, you know, just.
Yeah. But Pat Tallman has some stories about that set too, and running back and forth from that set to the Deep Space Nine set because she was on both at the same time.
She was on both, and nobody from the other crew knew that she was doing it. So she heard all, because there was a lot of controversy at the time of who stole whose idea.
Yeah.
And so she'd hear the bitching, so to speak, on each set of the other group, and she's kind of laughing to herself because she's like the double agent.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, I guess, like Bruce was saying, you know, and I think we all know this, if you watch, you're a fan of the original show, really the cornerstone of the show was Jakar and Londo. That relationship and those two actors
in this at all.
You know, and even Bruce, like, he's like, you know, we had I guess on this show, because they were on such a tight budget, because I guess he said
very, very tight budget.
At the same time, because Deep Space Nine was shooting at the same time. Deep Space Nine, they spent a third of what Deep Space Nine was spending per episode. So they were very, very cheap. And I even said that to Bruce. I said, when he was signing my thing, I was going to talk to him a little bit. I said, as a production person, I appreciate you guys what they did with pipe and drape, basically for sets, was amazing. They could make an entire throne room out of pipe and drape, and you'd swear it was, this is supposed to be the Grand Throne Room of the Centauri Republic, and it's pipe and drape with a chair in the middle of it. But it worked. It worked so well. So it's like, he's like, they were very efficient.
Smoke and editing,
but anyway, one of the things he was said is they always had a hard out at 7 p.m. every night. They would never work past that to keep the budget so that they weren't
good for them. That's so unheard of in Hollywood.
So he's like, sometimes, he's like, my stuff would be done for the day. So it'd be like 4 o'clock and I could go home. I was done. They were done with my, shooting for that day. And normally he's like, I would pack up and get the hell out of there and go home. And he's like, but one time he's like, I literally, it was Jakar and Londo doing their little back and forth. And I think it might've been the episode where they were in the elevator, stuck in the elevator, which is those two, that whole episode with the scenes with those two were just phenomenal. And he's like, I just sat there and got a coffee and just watched them do this. And he's like, they were just amazing. And he's right. The show would not have been the same had those two actors not been there.
No. But this Jakar, so back to the road home, this Jakar did not capture Jakar, I don't think.
No, I don't think it worked at all, unfortunately.
And
I know they have to, I think it's substituting, and even Mira, Delenn didn't have a lot of lines, but it just wasn't Mira, and her death, was so tragic because she died young I think she died, encephalitis or something? She got bit by a mosquito, and went into a coma and died. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
So just shows you how quickly things can go back. But, it just, even though the girl tried to mimic her accent, it just didn't work.
It just didn't. Yeah, it didn't. This was a revisiting, and I wrote the episode down, and I'm just not seeing it. This was a bit of a sequel? No, I don't know. They were picking up from the episode, and I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me, and I knew that I needed to. From the other episode where Sheridan becomes again unanchored in time and he's bouncing around. Let me try to pull that episode up for you guys.
Yeah, so there was the one, it was in this, I forget what season it was in, but basically it was like maybe the second or third season.
Yeah.
Where the first captain comes back, and I can't think of it just off the top of my head his name.
It's Sinclair. That's
Sinclair comes back, and they have to go get Babylon 4 is popping through time and showing up ahead, and then they have to send. So the idea was they had to send Babylon 4, which had just allegedly disappeared, but now we know why, back in time so that it could help the Minbari on the previous Shadow War.
Oh, War Without End. The episode
so his time stabilizer got damaged. So he was jumping around in time. But where this takes place is somewhere in the 5th season, where he finally moves from Babylon 5 to Minbar. So it's shortly after he moved him. He's president of the Alliance, and he's living on Minbar. And that's where this happens after he's there, maybe a month or two. And he gets exposed to these tachyon radiation from a generator that nobody knew would be any danger to most people. And it sends him not only through time, but the multiverse, because we had to throw the multiverse in there. Couldn't be just time.
And tachyons. We got to throw tachyons in there.
Yeah. So we have to the multiverse, which I was a little bit of that was a little grown moment for me, because I'm kind of getting tired of the multiverse thing.
In this version, I'm this. Oh, in this version, I'm that.
Exactly. It's just like, so in one version, he's on Earth, and apparently the Vorlons are about to destroy Earth. So there's a scene.
But you know what? That scene was Claudia's character and Londo sitting there, and they have a cocktail. And
it's not Claudia, though. I thought it was Lockley, wasn't it?
No, that. Wait, did I actually get No, it was Claudia, wasn't it?
I thought it was supposed to be. No, I think it was Lockley.
Maybe it was Lockley. God damn it!
That's what I'm saying. I think they gave her too many lines. It would have been better if it was Ivanova.
But it was the two. Yeah, I thought it was Ivanova and Londo sitting there
Maybe
having
I'm
a
wrong. I
cocktail,
could be wrong. Now
watching
you're
the
gonna make me go
moon,
back and watch that scene again. I
watching
thought
the.
I
Well, I could be
immediately
wrong,
I would have said it was Lockley right away.
but they're just.
But
But that I
anyway, so
kind of like
they're
the
like by
feeling
a
that
pool having wine, watching the
yeah,
end of the
they're
world.
sitting by the pool on lounge chairs with their cocktails, watching the moon come down to kill them. Like it just was absolutely. I like the beat of that. Like I like the feel of it.
Well, they were just
Somebody
like they had resigned themselves to.
and they had yes, that's the feel. They had resigned themselves and they were very
I guess
irreverent
the
about it.
thing was that it was the Vorlons that were doing this because remember at one point
Yeah,
the Vorlons became the bad guys,
yeah,
and the Vorlons were doing this because they were destroying every world that the Shadows had touched.
yes,
But they I forgot. So yeah, they're pushing the moon onto to crash into Earth because
yeah.
it's
They
cheaper.
pushed the moon
It was
into
less.
the
It
earth.
took less energy. Like these people care. That was kind of stupid to me. But
Whatever.
yeah, they said if anybody tries to leave the planet, they'll destroy the ship. I think I would have tried.
I think I would have
I
tried
mean,
to.
you had nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, die or die. Those are your
Die or
choices.
die.
Die or die. The one high point of the movie I thought was Zathras. He's always awesome. He was still just as funny, and I thought as well done as he had been on the show.
Now that wasn't the
Oh,
original actor, though.
no, it was not. But I
Yeah.
I still loved the writing. You
Yeah,
know, I
no,
just loved
that
what we got.
character was excellent. They kind of, and again, I think the other thing they revealed in this about Zathras, which I did, there was always this mystery of like, who is he and where does he
Who is
come
he?
from
Where he
and
come
why
from?
are there so many of them? And they
Yeah,
kind of let that slip that the great machine creates them. And not only are they all the same person, they're in touch with each other, but they're in touch with each other via through these different time, not only through the time, but like these different universes, like they're
yeah,
connected,
which is a
quantum
lot of
entanglement
Zathras.
and all that stuff. Which I'm like, okay, that's probably a little bit. I like the fact Zathras was always kind of a mystery, like he was just a funny,
Yeah, but it
frustrating
was funny. Yeah, yeah, that was good. And then I
Zathras.
thought Billy Mooney as Lanier, like I didn't. He was really morose. I don't know. I didn't remember him being quite that. Maybe I had misremembered Billy Mooney. I don't
Well, it
know.
was
I
the thing is
I
when he
remember
runs
Lanier
into
being quite
him,
so.
when the most time he's talking to Lanier doesn't real like because remember it's that alternate timeline and it's Sheridan has been head of Babylon 5 for a couple of years and there's no shadows
Yeah, that's true.
because whatever Universal Exports or whatever the hell it was
Yeah,
never went to Zahadun.
yeah,
Like that's a funny thing. He didn't want to tell him what planet it was. He goes, "Oh, Zaha boom," and I'm like, What's the difference if they know the planet? If you tell them don't go there, whatever you do,
I don't
I'm
know.
like, I don't know. It's there was some holes. Yeah, I wasn't. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping for a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
was too.
more
When
nostalgia.
yeah, me too. When I started kind of trying to research and watching some other people's reviews, the diehard Babylon people really love it. Like they like, yeah, the writing was on point and they hit the notes and they hit character notes beat for beat. And I was like, yeah, I guess they did. I mean, Straczynski hasn't lost his touch there,
I
but
don't
I don't know.
disagree with that. I just think the story.
The
I don't
story
know.
was
Maybe they
done. It had
were
been done.
out of
It
stories.
was
They couldn't
sliders in
touch.
space.
Yeah, they couldn't touch anything from the spinoff because of copyright rules. So you guys there was the spinoff you remember called Crusade, which only lasted a season or half a season or something. And apparently, and I think what the biggest mistake Crusade make, and they brought this up in the talk the other weekend, was they didn't have any of the original characters from Babylon 5 on that show.
Yeah.
It was just the same universe, but they didn't have any crossover because like even
they
like
didn't.
so like when Star Trek's Next Gen started to transition over to Deep Space Nine, we had that crossover where Kirk Picard the Enterprise goes to Deep Space Nine and there's a whole series of stories that are connected and mix those two crews together for a little bit before you kind of cut them loose. And then of course,
Yeah.
obviously with Deep Space Nine, you had O'Brien and Worf eventually come over from those shows to kind of again kind of anchor it.
Yeah.
The Crusade didn't have I think Crusade it had an interesting sort of idea again, but it was another MacGuffin. It was a leftover from the Shadow War, where some of the Shadow allies were gonna kill the human race. I forgot what the
But
actual plot was, but
yeah, I don't remember
that was
either.
their mission, was to foil that plot.
Yeah. But there's so much more. Like, I didn't even realize that. So when you go on the Babylon 5 wiki, it says there was In the Beginning, which was the first film.
Yep.
There was Babylon 5 Station, which I don't know if it ever got made or not. There was The Gathering. I know The Gathering. I've seen that. Then there's the season 1, Portents, Coming Shadows, Point of No
There's
Return.
like 4 movies. There's like 4
Yeah.
movies after the
Then
show.
here comes the movie. And then in there now slides, after season 5, now slides The Road Home. Then River of Souls, Legend of Rangers, Call to Arms, Crusade then happens after that. And then Lost Tales, Voices in the Dark. I didn't know what that was. And then In the Beginning, like there was so much. There's a lot of Babylon out
TNT,
there.
because so they were going to be canceled after
Babylon.
season 4, and because they were independent member, and then TNT came in and paid for season 5 and the subsequent films.
Oh,
because TNT saw value in it. So that's how that stuff got made. That was all TNT.
Kills me. Like some stuff gets stuff, and some stuff gets nothing. Firefly, one half a season in a movie. Babylon, sure, knock yourselves out. Make all.
Don't even get me started. You know me on Firefly, because the thing that aggravates me, the stupidity of, okay, you canceled it, you didn't. Right. But then when you saw the thing that aggravates me is once you saw the huge following behind it, why haven't you done anything with it? Like after 25 years, it's ridiculous.
Well, they found they're doing the anime. They're gonna attempt this animated thing now.
Well, that's not the studio. That's Fillion. That's Fillion, and what she always said, if he had the money, he would
being like, "Hey, let's do this." Yeah.
I mean, the guy, you got to give him credit. He stayed to his word. Many years ago, he said, "If I had the money, I would buy the rights and redo the show." Finally, I guess he has enough clout that he has gotten the rights to it and able to at least do it. Assuming that he can find a platform.
Like this, it's going to be animated. This is a trend. Can we talk about this for a little bit? Because it is a trend in Hollywood that you've got your show, and then I don't know, and then after a while they're like, let's do an animated version. And they have done that. Like there's animated Blade Runner. There's animated everything.
Because it's cheaper. It's much cheaper to make than it is a live action. Plus, you can get away with older actors and use their voices.
Because you can't tell.
At least with Firefly, we have the entire original cast with the exception of Book. So we can bring back all the characters, almost everybody, and have it. And I think that will make it, as long as the writing. I think Firefly will work better than this, as long as the writing stays true to the original show and you have the right actors in the place. So I agree.
And you know what? That writing is crux. Like the writing is crucial, because Firefly in particular had a very niche, very, very niche way of talking.
It had its own voice.
Humor, a very niche way of mixing the Chinese and the other, like, you know what I mean?
That's how they got away with swearing on TV. They swore in Chinese.
They swear in Chinese.
So, but yeah, right. But that show had a very unique voice to it, and I think they need to capture that again, and I think they will, because they have some of the original writers. Even though we
just have Jewel State saying "shiny" every now and again, they have to capture the feeling behind that.
Yeah, some of those might be the difficult ones, like her, and because she's so much older than she was when she did the show, her voice may have changed a bit, and I'm wondering if Summer Glau is in the same. We'll find out. Because I've seen Jewel in other stuff, and she doesn't quite sound like Kaylee.
She's aged. Yeah, she's grown up.
Yeah, she's in her 40s now.
Like she'll say it. She says she was in an interview, like, I was 19 when I did that.
Yeah, she was a kid, and Summer was even younger. She was even younger.
And I will keep you all posted on that as we get more information on it. But yeah. So yeah, all in all, if you're a diehard Babylon fan, you probably like this. It gave a little something for everybody.
It's worth watching.
It hit on all the characters as best it could, I think.
Yeah. If you're a B5 fan, it's worth watching. If you've never watched the show, or you never really liked the show or never got into the show, then I would pass. Because I don't think it doesn't really stand alone without knowing a lot of the history of the show. Like if like literally. I mean, I just
Yeah,
recently
you know what?
rewatched.
That was a thought I had. If you did not know what Babylon 5 was and you just suddenly started watching this movie, you would be lost,
Lost,
completely
yeah.
lost.
And I just recently like it was about a year ago. I rewatched the whole 5 seasons, and because and it still holds up even though you can get it on Blu-ray. Of course, like as mentioned that it was CGI animation in standard definition, very early in its infancy, and it shows. I mean, I think they could go back and redo the graphics, I suppose, and make it up, bring it up to date.
But here's the thing: we got annoyed when Lucas retconned the original series, and I'm on the fence with the way some of they've been digitally changing up TOS. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just like the pure, like, look what we did with what we had to work with. I like
it's really not bad. Like I said, I watched it. I have the Blu-rays, which you're not getting. Really not getting. It's almost worth it because it was only ever in standard definition. I don't think they shot it on film, so it's only going to be as good as the video of the day. But it's still it's watchable even on a big screen. I think that's where the difference is. You got to remember back in the 90s, we were watching.
It's watchable. It's a little dark.
25-inch TV was big. 25-inch TV was big. Now we're looking at stuff on 80-inch TVs. Most people are averaging between 60 and 80-inch TV in their house. That's a big difference. And you're stretching that standard definition. You're blowing it up, and it loses a lot. But the show itself still holds. There's no question.
Yeah, the show does. We did, to those of you watching, we did do the show. We did do Babylon 5 early. I think our first season, our first year doing this, we did Babylon 5.
Yep.
Maybe our second year, but yeah. And I remember going back and rewatching everything and getting a better appreciation for it. There's a little show that could. We covered a lot of little shows that could on this.
Yeah, it could.
On Sci-Fi Distill.
It was. They said that if you do get a chance to see either Claudia or Bruce, it's worth going to the con and just listening to they're very nice people. First of all, they were just really an joy to be around and talk to. And like I said, Bruce it wasn't the standard scribble their name, slide down kind of thing. He was talking to him, which is kind of annoying, but that was a nice thing that VermontCon's very small. These were clearly the two biggest. They had the other guy I guess, of note that was, and I don't even know him because I'm not a Chainsaw Massacre fan, but the guy that apparently was Leatherface in the outfit was there.
Cool.
So they did a photo op apparently with him in the Leatherface thing. I'm not into that, so I didn't do that, but
that's cool.
So they don't have a lot of celebs. This is like the first time I've been to it because the first had somebody of note that I actually wanted to see. And it was a good con to do it because, like I said, even
the Granite State one, and the only one they had, like the only person of note was A-Train from The Boys. And he was like the only one they had. Like, they didn't have anybody else.
Yeah, the guy that played A-Train. Yeah, that con's getting bigger every time.
Good for them. I mean, that's awesome. You want to see that?
Yeah, it's so I don't know. Yeah,
I feel like
I'm gonna miss it again this year because it's the same weekend as our Galileo christening. So this will be like the third year in a row I keep missing GraniteCon because it's always something else going on that weekend. So whatever.
The original, the remake, Rizzo. What are you talking about, Bill?
The original or the remake? I don't know what he's talking about either. Bill, time to have your pills, buddy.
No. What are you saying? So let me just talk about real quick. Are we done? Have we said everything we need to say?
I think we've pretty much covered this. There's not a lot to talk about, unfortunately.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit. Every week I say what Roy and Phil are doing. Phil, I reached out to kind of late and he didn't get back to me, but that's okay. Roy is doing something tomorrow night. So tomorrow's Thursday. They're doing the Space 1999 episode, Seed of Destruction. He'll have Warren Friedrich and their guest Stephen Reeder to discuss that season 2 fan favorite. But they're doing it late at night. It's going to start at 10 p.m. And the reason why is because at midnight, a Kickstarter that they were running is going to be wrapping up, I believe. Yes, it is. And this is a really interesting Kickstarter that I didn't know they were having. Good for you, Roy. They are going to be making a fan film for Space 1999. And what happened is at the when they had their Space 1999 breakaway convention in Los Angeles last year.
Yeah, it was a year ago, I think, or a year and a half ago.
A year ago. They did this like message from Moonbase Alpha, and it was like a little conclusion to the series. It was very sweet, and everybody liked it. So now what they're doing is a 50th anniversary project called Return to Moonbase Alpha, and this was all inspired because Roy and Warren and a bunch of the guys discovered Martin Landau's private collection of Space 1999 episodes. And they were transfers from 16 millimeter to video cassette. And I guess one of them was mislabeled. It was mislabeled as Return to Moonbase Alpha. And that launched the idea. They were like, oh, we could do a little short film and a potential like 50th episode of Space 1999. So they have been doing a Kickstarter for that. Their goal was only $10,000. They made $50,000. It's not too late. If you want to get onto Kickstarter now and contribute, it's called Return to Moonbase Alpha. You can still back this project with a little more than 24 hours to go. And I wish them, I know the joy of making a fan film, like I genuinely do. And so I wish them all the luck in the world. I hope they are successful, and I hope they are happy with
the joy, the stress, the pain of making.
No. Cool.
Oh, I think you're looking through rose-colored glasses back in. There was oh, come on. There was drama.
Oh, for us. Yes.
Yeah. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Yeah, on Star Trek fan films, big drama, but Roy's fan film for Space 99 is going to go smoothly.
Oh, well, hopefully. Yes, I wish them. And maybe because they are a very small group, and I wish them the best. Yeah. By the way, Bill, I'm pretty sure it was the original Leatherface. I don't know.
Oh, was it really?
That's what he was asking, whether it was original or remake.
Oh, that's cool. They're gonna have Nick Tate in it. I think they're gonna have a couple other folks who are still around in it besides Nick Tate. And
they're pretty old.
And they're getting pretty old. So yeah, it will be a direct continuation to the series. I part of me is like, ooh, I want to go do a fan film.
Right.
I kind of miss our
good
fan
luck
film.
to them. Oh, one thing they did mention, I was going to say on the panel, they did bring up Walter Koenig, and because he was Bester.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, they were funny. They were like, yeah, Walter's he gets in character. He stays in character all the time, and and like we're always goofing around on the sets, and kind of slapsticky kind of stuff and moving around. And then there's Walter, and they're like, yeah, he's just like, yeah, being very, very Bester, very serious.
Being Bester.
So yeah, it's like, he, I guess he went to some event, Babylon 5 event, and he was there, and he comes in, I guess he's in the Bester outfit, the whole 9 yards. And he's got two big, huge guys in the Bester, in the Psychor. He comes on stage like he's, in character. They said it was hysterical.
Oh my God!
They did say that he was really great to work with. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're doing next week, but in 2 weeks, I just talked to Doc Alexander, and he's going to come on this will be May 13th and give us a whole breakdown of Artemis 2. So that's going to be really exciting. So mark your calendars for that. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to hear all about.
For those of you, everyone I think watching knows, but if there's anyone out there watching who doesn't know, Dr. Alexander is a NASA flight surgeon who works on these projects. And we did get to kind of see him at work this time because for those of us who were following, every now and again you tune in live on YouTube. I don't know if you did that, Rizzo, but that's
I watched a lot of it. Yeah, I saw him. I even posted their yard in the background,
And the surgeon, you can see the surgeon's section in the back. And one day, there he was.
Yeah, he was there. He was there a lot, actually.
Because usually he's like in a back room somewhere.
He's like in the corner there. But I think they must rotate. They can't be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So all that crew, all that flight, all those mission control guys, they rotate out. They must go home and sleep and then come back in shifts. I mean, somebody's always manning that stuff 24 hours a day when they're on a mission, but they obviously can't be there 24 hours a day. So they rotate out. Even even for flight director. So we'll rotate out.
But he's absolutely phenomenal guy, and we are so excited to call him.
So I literally just got off the phone right before we got on the show with him. So he's definitely going to be on the 13th, barring any, thing that comes up with NASA. He's like, they are already drilling for and doing simulations for Artemis 3.
Are they really?
Yeah, he's like, they are hammered down, busy. So anyway, I was good that I got to talk to him at least for a short bit. But when next week, I don't know. We'll have to give us. Maybe you guys can give us some suggestions. I do want to give a shout out to Chris LaRoche. I know he hasn't been feeling well.
Let's give Chris LaRoche.
So Chris, I know you're not there tonight, but you are in our thoughts. So please get well
you
soon.
are,
and
Chris.
we need you in time.
Better. You did recommend something to us last week, and I'm trying to remember what it was now.
You did. He called me. We did talk about it. It's a very old movie, so I'm not really sure it's something we want to do, but we'll keep it under advisement.
Okay.
Like a 1930s film.
Oh, that's quite old. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for suggesting it, Chris. All right, you get better, and we are thinking of you, and we appreciate. Tell your wife we appreciate her updates on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's right, Alex McDonald. Yeah, you had surgery too, so thank you. Glad you're doing well. You're also sorry about that. I didn't mean to ignore you.
Well, yeah, no.
So,
can we say what you were doing, or you don't want people to know?
Well, I'm not going to say it out loud on things. He can put it in the chat if he wants to.
Type it. Alex, if you want to type it in.
Glad that you're home and doing better.
Yes.
All right. On that note, we will also, as usual, figure something out at some point. What I'm going to do next week.
We always do, usually like Monday night or or Sunday.
I start thinking about it Sunday sometimes. Like, oh boy.
I try to think about it like on Friday because I like to watch it over the weekend.
Sorry.
All right.
It is what it is. So, all right, guys. That's it. That's close enough to 8 o'clock for me. So on that note, we will say good night. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you always. Good night.